Sinners. My first question is, who is the title referring to? The vampires or the people?
Right. No, that's a good
I couldn't call it.
question. It's a good question because the twins, right? They were sinners, they were like gangsters,
yeah.
And they were coming in with, I guess, blood money or whatever to
they
open
stole,
up the place.
Again, it's going to be spoilers. They stole liquor from gangs in Chicago.
Yeah. So
and
like,
they came back to the South.
and then they decided to open up a business, and
Juke joint.
Yeah, and it attracted the dark side. So maybe
okay. Maybe you just answered the question. Maybe Sinners in this movie is the gangsters, the twins, Stack and was it Stack and what? Something Stack, Smokestack. Smoking Stack. Maybe they're the sinners. The vampires are demons, so they're not necessarily sinners. They're already evil.
Yeah.
And then the town folk and the people, they're just people. I'm sure amongst them there's sinners, but they're not necessarily all just bad because they just wanted to have a dance and good time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, there were like,
adultery.
Not adultery.
Adultery.
There was 3 sex parts. 3. There was the first one with him and his old flame at her house from the back.
Oh, there was.
And then
3.
2 at the juke
that was
joint.
his girl.
They weren't really together.
But they weren't. Neither one.
But
of
they
them
were
married.
sinning because they weren't married, right? That's called.
Well, if you believe in it, no. Fornication. Fornication.
Fornication.
If you count that.
It is. That's
okay.
I mean, to the Christian. Well, I wouldn't call them a Christian coalition. That's hilarious. But that's considered sinning. Based on the rules.
And then the other scenes were with married women. So they got that in there.
Yeah.
They got the women being unfaithful.
They were drinking liquor, dancing to the devil's music or whatever.
It wasn't devil's music.
Well, it was secular music, right? It wasn't Christian. Songs, it wasn't gospel.
That's true. Some songs, there were spicy songs.
Yeah. Very sexual, charged. Secular, yes, that was the whole juke joint idea.
But when Sammy was singing, I don't remember the words, but was that song he was singing particularly secular that attracted the vampires?
I don't know. I think they were just. I think they just talk about music. Period. Mm-hmm. Like soulful music.
Yeah, it's cultural.
Can cross all types of worlds.
We may have to watch it again just to try to listen to. It was hard to listen to the lyrics and then process the visuals.
Yeah.
When they brought in the DJs and the rappers and all the timelines.
That was kind of dope when they did that. Yeah.
But I felt the type of way that in that scene, doing all that, why did that attract evil? Right? Are they trying to say that type of black music in all its forms across time attracts evil?
There was something that you brought up about like the devil being a musician.
Yes, he was Lucifer. We're going to have to sage after this. Lucifer.
Well, that's why I'm not saying no names.
Oh.
That's why I'm being. Yeah, I know, but that's the character.
Okay, the devil.
Oh, you don't even have to. Okay, we're doing too much.
We're fine.
We're doing too much. Just say the words.
He's a musician. I heard or I read somewhere that he was a musician.
Yeah.
So, and
maybe
he brought music to this world, so that's why music.
I'm not.
You're not feeling it?
Nah.
You want to change? We're gonna talk about the movie. Would you rate the movie from 1 to 10? How you felt about it? We go to church after this. Let's listen to Kirk Franklin after this.
You're the reason why I sing. That's not it, but
you can just turn the.
I like this song.
I know you got to keep moving it though.
Yeah. I rated I'm like between a 6 and a 7. Like a 6. I rated a 6. How about you?
Out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
For horror? Action?
Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking overall.
Thriller? It was about an 8.
Okay. Yeah, as far as the scary movie is concerned, I guess I would still pick 6. Everything would probably be like right above okay. Because I felt like it could have been better.
How?
I don't know. Just I mean, it had good parts to it, but like overall, like how it ended, like how everything went down. Like I think it like scratched this. It was an intro. Like if it was supposed to be like a trilogy or something like that, then I feel like it was nicely set up. No, I felt like there's more.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna be a universe.
Yeah, it could have been deeper. I believe. Like I don't know how to explain it, with my words. But I knew what I wanted to feel, and it kind of just like scratched the surface of all of that. What I did like was that the lady that was, I guess, into the magic and stuff like that. How
hoodoo? Is
that what it was? How, when she noticed that when the people went out into, I guess became undead and came back, how they had to ask to come back in. And like her noticing that and be like, no, don't let them in. Like, what is that? Like, I liked that idea too. Like, hold on, there's something interesting happening. I like that part.
But that's real. Supposedly, you have to invite evil into your house, which you are denied here in all forms.
You deny.
But then the Asian lady, the Asian lady when she said, "Come on."
Oh my God, that.
And then what happened after? Like, I think that was poorly written for 50, 100 vampires to come in there with only like 5 or 6 people, and somehow they survived. Like the main character survived. The only people that died in there was the drunk, the Asian lady, and then the other black girl turned. It was like they had minimal casualties with 50 vampires in there.
Yeah.
Supposedly stronger, faster, all these things, and they just had they had guns and silver and wooden sticks, and they were somehow fighting them off. Like I was thinking, as soon as they came in there, it should have been a wrap in like 30 seconds max.
Yeah.
Everybody's turn, but they fought them off, and everybody died. But the main characters, the hoodoo lady died.
Yeah.
So and then just Smoke, Sammy. We're only survivors ultimately.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
I mean, yeah.
And then the girl, she got turned. You know what I'm saying?
Early.
So I don't know how to fuck. Like it was like, bro. There should have been another way to write it to for that fight scene to have seemed more even, because they were fighting. They were killing more vampires than they were losing. You know what I'm saying? So I was looking at the scene like they should have been dead already. Everybody should have been dead already.
Yeah. I mean, you said that out loud in theater too. Like, how are they winning?
It's like 5 minutes and y'all still fighting. 100 motherfuckers that just ran in there.
Yeah. And like, what was it about? Like, I guess him and his brother. I mean, you're better with names. Smoke and Stack. How they're like kind of wrestling, and then they're saying at the end, I guess he had an agreement with him, like, oh, I'll let you live if you don't touch Sammy. I guess let him live out his life. Like how is he like gonna listen to him?
That's his brother.
I know, but he's like not really his brother anymore. Like he can do what he wants to do. Part of him in there.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he honored, like he known him his whole life. They're brothers. There's probably still some love there or respect.
Maybe, so maybe deep down inside
he could have killed him. Maybe he was like, all right, you got that. You could have killed me, so I'll leave him alone.
And then he go visit him later on down in life, like, hi, how you doing? Like,
he was about to die. I think that's dope how they said that. I think there's gonna be more.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do a movie in the 90s with them, and maybe they'll bring it to 2025 or whenever the movie comes out.
How do you think they're gonna set the next storyline up?
Just vampires. I don't know. They kind of killed everybody off from the first one except for the girl and Stack.
Yeah, and then everyone, even the vampires, they got burned up.
Yeah, the main evil guy's gone, so it could be just the first movie of their origin, and then maybe there's politics they're going to be like 70-year-old vampires, so they're still kind of new. They're not really strong. It can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean,
I'm saying?
if they carried it on, I would be excited to see the next one.
Mm-hmm. We just dropped mad spoilers.
Nice. Well, we said we were. We were talking about the movie.
What could they have done better? Well, I already mentioned the fight scene. If there was some kind of way to make it more realistic that you could believe that they could fight them off that long. I like the concept of the inviting them in and then rejecting them and all that. But I'm mad at the Asian lady. She did not. She was just very selfish.
I was dumb.
And like, instead of doing that, you could have just took your ass outside.
Right.
Like, why you
go get your husband?
Everybody in risk. Everybody that's alive with you. You just murked everybody because you and your emotions.
You're in the literally go outside. Like, why?
Right. Give her some guns.
She was too emotional.
Give her some guns. Give her some wooden stakes and have her take her ass outside instead of yelling that and then having them come in there.
You should have saw it. You should have saw it coming because she was tweaking.
Yes, I would have been like, listen.
Like, please get out.
And then it should have also been. I mean, I don't know the lore or the rules. But it should have been whoever the owner has to say that. Like, apparently it was anybody who's
someone
inside.
who owns the house or something.
Oh yeah. Like
the owner
Smoke.
Of the house.
Smoke. That was his. He bought it. It was his. It should have been him to say it.
True.
But anybody inside apparently could say it. So I don't know if there's a plot hole or that's just like the lore with that. Whoever's in the house. If you're in the house and you say, "Come on in," it don't matter who it is. So I don't know.
That's good to know.
It is, right? It's like, careful who you let in your house.
What are the rules? Exactly.
If you know, put it in the comments. What are the rules around it? Is it any?
What are the vampire rules?
Any or demonology, whatever. Anybody in the house, if anybody in your household gives permission, is that the green light? Or does it have to be the owners or the matriarch or the patriarch?
We'd be good with that. Nobody would come in here.
Yeah. We used to throw parties and stuff.
We do.
You can talk about. Yeah.
I mean, just like regularly, like someone is like
nobody
standing out. You used to be standing outside. I mean,
nobody.
Just naturally that.
We could probably look up some stuff. You want to
look up
vampire rules? No, we don't have to do that. Put in the comments if you know stuff. Back to the Christians. So Back
to the Christians
are attacking the movie. Obviously, I'm sure they don't like the title for obvious reasons. And then they're saying that for the public, people watching it, it's going to turn them off to Jesus and make them want to study and look into the hoodoo side of things. I don't think the movie was necessarily talk bad or about you. It had a pastor. The kid was a pastor's boy. He was religious. He sang. He was even praying at the end when he was about to get murked. Like he was singing
I don't know what part of it. I don't know how they like exalted that part of the movie because it wasn't a real big part of it to say that's going to turn people. Like the movie was not about that.
People were saying the hoodoo lady.
Yeah.
Instead of calling on Jesus for help and all that, she was calling on her magic.
That was her culture.
I know.
That's what the movie wasn't about that. People
were saying, "Oh, she should have been calling on Jesus and doing Christian things."
Isn't that a choice too?
But they had a Christian aspect because the kid was religious.
That crosses everywhere,
and he was praying, and he was spiritual and religious, and he was praying at the end when the vampire's about to murk him, and he got saved. So, I think, and you know what happens is people who got something to say didn't even watch it.
Okay.
They probably hear other people talk about it, and then it's like telephone. You just say what you heard, but you ain't watch it. But if you watch it, obviously you probably won't watch it because you don't like the title, you don't like what it's about, and you don't like what you heard about it. But if you watch it, it's not. I don't think it pulls anybody or tries to turn people off to Christianity
at all.
Because it got Christian parts in there. It has hoodoo parts in there.
Yeah.
It has vampire parts in there. It's a horror film. There's adultery. There's secular music. It's not a Christian movie. It's not Passion of the Christ.
And it's definitely not a kid movie.
Yes.
Do not take your children to see this movie.
I asked people online, should I bring my 13-year-old? And a handful of y'all said yes.
Like, did y'all forget what the scene was. Like, do you have to actually see a penis and a vagina and boobs for it to be inappropriate for children? What we saw was enough, personally.
Yes, the 3 sex scenes.
3 whole like, you could tell like they're not playing.
The first 2 were very graphic. The last one you couldn't really tell because when the guy opened the door, yeah, but it was still.
Yeah, that whole.
I'm thinking like if I brought my kid and then he's asking me questions, I'm like, nah, I gotta explain. But he knows, he understands.
But still, if you.
It is rated R, so it's not for kids.
Exactly.
Don't bring your children.
Don't take your children to see this movie.
Unless you're gonna be prepared to explain some things.
I mean, even if they already know about it, they don't have to see the movie. Like, just, I don't know what the urgency is, or trying to make your kids grow up so fast, or whatever the case. I mean, that's my personal opinion, but they don't have to see that movie. Like, go see something else.
I was thinking about the smells.
The smells.
Yeah, like it's 1930. They didn't have showers and.
I mean, that scene where he was like, "I don't care, just want to taste you." Yeah. He didn't care. Well, they
probably take showers once a week back then. 2 times a week. I mean, once every 2 weeks.
Well, I guess maybe like if you're used to that, you're used to the smells. It's normal. Like now, like we bougie, so we got the.
Well, and were they really doing oral back in 1930s? Like,
why not?
I don't know. Maybe we should look that up.
Why not?
Ask Google.
Ask
Google. Hey Google.
It's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Were people engaging in oral sex in 1932?
Sorry, I don't understand.
No. It's got to be so we can
that
hear
loud?
It. Yeah.
While explicit data on the prevalence of oral sex in 1932 is limited, historical sources and studies on sexual behavior suggest that it was likely practiced to some extent. Here's what we can infer. Ancient practice. Oral sex has a long history, with evidence dating back to ancient civilizations. Changing attitudes. Attitudes towards sexual practices vary greatly across cultures and time periods. What might be considered taboo in one era could be more accepted in another. Limited open discussion. In the early 20th century...
Okay, we get it. Apparently...
She can stop talking.
Apparently... They were doing that.
Why not?
They did have soap and water. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. All I know is in that hot-ass juke joint, she was already there with dancing.
And she had been working all day.
And she had that dress, that big ass dress or whatever, like in the summertime. Everybody was sweating.
Already sweating.
Everybody was sweating in that motherfucker.
He didn't care. Yo, his mouth was probably like reeking.
Her damn in between her legs was reeking.
I'm just saying.
And then he talking to people and then he's singing. We gotta run.
That's what attracted him. It was that breath.
No, it was. I think it was a decent movie.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was good. It wasn't great, which is fine.
I give it an 8.
6.
That's kind of low. That's kind of mid.
Could have been better. It could have been better.
What would you have improved on? What would get it to a 10 for you?
Better writing. And I don't. I mean, I'm not a movie writer, but I know it when I see it. Like I'm sure someone else could have taken it and did something more to it to just add more oohs and ahs feeling. But it was very, it wasn't scary at all. There was some little jump scares, but because of the music or the sound effects and stuff like that, with the snake in the back of the truck, like stuff like that.
That was like the first one.
Yeah. So, but it was just more. It wasn't really. I don't know. It could have been better. Like From Dusk Till Dawn. Like that was a good movie, like vampire, and it happening like from dusk till dawn in those wee hours. That movie was bomb. I feel like I need to watch that again, but
I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we can watch that and be like, okay, it could have gave the same feels.
Was that scary?
I think it was a little more gory. True. So we can go see it as adults now, a little more desensitized brain.
Like I seen worse. For me, what from an 8 to 10, I would give the ending. I was rolling my eyes when the sun came up and killed everybody. I was thinking, to me, I'm thinking like,
run away.
Right. Like,
They knew what
okay,
time it
y'all,
was.
y'all in the moment, you got this nice juke joint, y'all trying to kill everybody. Everybody's not paying attention to time. But then the sun comes up and everybody's literally standing outside waiting for the sun to just murk them. And that's how everybody died. Like, to me, that was the lazy writing part. That was like,
Yeah.
it should have been,
It's
the twist should have been more twisty. Because that wasn't really a
It
twist.
could have been more everything.
That was like, it was getting good. Okay, he got him. He got stabbed. And then the sun came up. Like, really?
So he had a little tornado.
From the moment the Asian lady let them in to the moment the sun came up, which was probably like 20 minutes. So you mean to tell me all you had to do was shut your mouth for 20 minutes and y'all could have left and everybody would have been safe. Granted, all those vampires would have to run somewhere and get away from the sun, or would they have stayed outside and just got murked by just being out there?
Yeah.
Where could they have gone? And then the other thing that pissed me off was how the vampire came into the scene like he fell from the sky or he was running from somewhere. Like,
oh
boom,
yeah,
just vampire comes.
How did he get there? He looked like, because the way that he entered the scene, like it looked like he like fell down like a fallen angel, like type of thing.
We got no origin about him. He just vampire.
He dropped out of the sky.
In the script, it said vampire enters the scene. Boom.
Right.
We don't got nothing.
In the brackets.
But then the Indians or the natives were chasing him.
Yeah, and where'd they go? Why didn't they come back?
That could be a prequel. Like, maybe they could make a movie of what they were doing. Maybe they were fighting him.
Yeah.
And there was a conflict.
We could have sworn that they were about to enter the scene and help them fight.
Yeah, I thought they were going to come back and like help them and save them.
They just had like...
Nah, they knew
okay,
better.
that makes me think that there should be a 2 in the making.
Yeah, they were like...
Because like, how you just going to sneak peek everything?
So wait a minute. They were chasing him, right? Oh, they were chasing him in the house. And then when they left when the sun went down because they were like, okay.
So how'd they see him when the sun was up? Or they just knew that he was going to be around?
Remember, he was running and he was all burning up?
Yeah.
So like...
From where?
Maybe wherever they were trying to fight him.
Oh, maybe he was like in a coffin or something. Or under the ground or in some type of darkness. I don't see.
Exactly.
There's questions.
The sun was up.
Yeah.
He's outside. He's burning up. He's running. He gets to the door, the house, and then they let him in. But then the sun goes down, and that's when they bounce.
They probably like scared him out of something.
And they're like, "All right, it's dark now. We can't fuck with him in this state."
Yeah.
Technically, if they knew he was in there, well, if they knew better, they were like several of them, and they knew that he was in the house. They could have still tried to fight him.
What if they were like good vampires? No, because
they were trying to kill him.
You know, like Blade.
Mm-hmm.
He still had to be invited inside.
Blade, no.
No, he didn't.
No,
oh, that's right. He was
Blade.
half and half.
Blade could go in wherever. I'm saying that the native people, they could have saved all those black people if they continued on their mission and tried to go in there and kill him.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Like, okay,
The
lady answered the door. The lady answered the door. You know she's about to die because he's in there. So okay, you got at least 2 vampires in there. Y'all leave and basically let him roam the earth.
Yeah, engines.
They call them engines.
Engines.
So, y'all fucked up.
Yeah, there's... I won't say lazy writing because that would be... You know, it's not necessarily lazy writing. It just could have been more. We have questions. Well, I mean, I guess that's what work of art do. Like, you have questions afterward. You wonder, and you're talking about it. Everyone's talking about stuff. So, you know, good job for that. Keeping us guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, sinners. What's next on the agenda?
They should make part 2 Believers.
Huh?
Christians. Hoodooers. Is that a name?
I have no idea. I never even heard
Hoodoo.
What's the difference between hoodoo and voodoo?
I think voodoo's from Haiti and hoodoo's from the South.
Okay.
It's probably the same, related, or just, you know,
I'm
different
with it.
in some kind of way. But yeah, nobody is going to turn from Jesus to turn to hoodoo people. Okay.
I mean, isn't it the same thing as like people wanting to be like Muslim or Buddhist or something like that? It's just different
Spiritual belief.
ways about protection and
there's Santeria.
yeah.
There's all type of religions and practices.
Yeah, and you pick what
and
you
they
resonate
all
with.
have pros and cons
All
and
of
belief
them.
systems.
All of them.
And it doesn't matter if you feel like it's going to influence people. I mean, people are going to do what they want to do.
Yeah, so what?
If anything, it sparked interest in people. Maybe people
Not
who never
volatile.
heard about it might just read up on it to learn more about it. But that don't mean they're going to jump in and start practicing. And
I mean, if they do, like, whatever. What's got to do with you?
yeah, because they want them to go to Jesus.
Why? You need more soldiers?
Well, it's part of the thing to spread
Convert
the gospel.
people?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
What do they say when they used to come to doors?
do you know about our Lord and
The
Savior?
Lord and Savior Jesus. That reminds me of Friday. I forgot the line.
I did too.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you prepared for Jehovah's return? Because if you are, I got this pamphlet. It's funny. Good times.
We talked about this movie for 30 minutes.
Dope. But I do want to mention something very, very enlightening.